Hey everybody, I'm Mike Golick, and I'm here with co-founder of Operation Barbecue Relief and former Pitmaster champion, Stan Hayes. Stan, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike.
All right, what are you making for us?
So we've got a prime rib here. Our friends at Certified Angus Beef gave us this, and we're gonna, talk a little bit about what we've got here. Besides the fact that it's bone off, you can see the bone marks here where they've cut this off. That's really done for overall cooking experience, because bone in takes a lot longer to cook, and it's a little bit harder. And I think that's some of the things that people look at and get a little scared of cooking this piece of meat.
I would be if the bone was in, because it's going to take longer. Plus, I like to eat quicker. So.
But you can see the marbling and everything here. We've got the fat on the bottom side right here. We've kept the tail on for this. Traditional prime rib always keeps that tail on, so we're going to cook it like this. We're going to crust it today. We're going to take a little mayo, and we're going to take some fresh horseradish.
I like
we're going
both of those.
We're going to grate it up, crust it, then use some of the OBR spices on this, and really, make it shine.
See, that's the thing to me, is how you dress it up, right?
Yeah,
of what
absolutely.
you do with it before we eat it. Because I want to get to the eating part, but we got to go through this part of it. So take us through the process.
So this is about 6 pounds, which is a good family size.
I was just going to say that would be you and I. What's everybody else?
So, the bone in, if you wanted to do bone in, that's usually you'd ask the butcher for 2 to 3 bones on it. This one you could see would have had 2 bones on it, and it's all been trimmed down. We got the fat trimmed, the hard fat trimmed down, but you want some of that fat on there to help baste it and everything. And so we're going to start out with, a lot of people. This is what horseradish looks like when it's dug out of the ground, and you can find it at specialty stores. You can buy it online.
Okay, now that's cool, because I only seen it in a jar.
And then we've got some that's grated and everything here. If you can't find this, you just get the prepared, in the refrigerated section, and use that instead. It's already got the mayo and everything built into it, so you can crust it. Here is some fresh. I've taken off the outside a little bit, and go ahead and use that side, and we're going to grate it really good and get that going. And in the meantime, I'm going to put some of this mayo in there.
Can I say right out of the gate, I have grated now for a good 10 seconds, and it's all there and there's nothing in there.
So if you look on the inside, it's on the inside there. So there is some there.
Thought I was doing it wrong.
No, it's time intensive, and in a little bit when your eyes start burning, that's when it's getting good.
Oh, I'm starting to.
You can start smelling it, right?
Yeah.
You're starting to get those essential oils coming out, and that's what's really going to bring out that. You only have that light little ring. If you're like me, when you slice this thing and you're eating prime rib, you want that outer piece, but it's only, depending on how thick you cut it, 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick. Right. And you want to, you'd like to have that in every bite.
Oh, without question.
So we're putting a lot of the horseradish in here with mayo. I'm just gonna mix this all up, and then we're gonna get our hands dirty here in a minute.
I like that a lot.
So you got all that, and it's really, you can see it's really thick, and that's why we want it, because we don't want this runny on here. Right. This is really just meat glue. The mayo is just used for meat glue, and we're going to sit here and
we get some of that dirty?
Yep. If you want to, you start rubbing that in. So let's get some on the that side.
Okay.
And then we're going to flip that over, and we'll get the other side. And what's going to happen is, as this cooks and it cooks out all the mayonnaise that's on here holding that, you're going to be left with all these speckles of this horseradish on top. And
like you said, you get it in every bite.
And that way, and you're going to get that caramelization and everything that you get from this cooking over a long period of time. The fat, as it renders down, gets sweeter and sort of builds in there. And that's where, that's where it's at, right? We've got the OBR Texas salt, pepper, garlic right there.
Okay.
We're going to take that and just lightly sprinkle over.
Lightly sprinkle.
Yep. I'm going to flip it over here, and we're going to get the edges of it.
The smell it's not even cooking yet. Wow.
So some people would sit here and say, with all the fat on that end, there's no real reason to put much on there.
Right.
But I don't believe that, just because there's fat there. I don't know about you, but I'm not cutting that fat off when I'm eating it, because the fat's flavor and everything else. Now, if you want to grab the other one, this one's our Santa Maria steak rub. And this one's got a little bit of a kick to it, and so that's going to give it a little little peppery. It's
So
going to give.
same thing. We're doing
Yep.
it over. Oh my
Yep.
gosh,
And so it also got a beautiful color that it'll help add.
it really does.
So
Okay.
do the same thing right over all of it. So now, once we're done with this, this is ready for a smoke bath. We'll go probably about 4 hours on there. And
Like what's a temp? Is this like a slow cooking thing or?
so I don't cook it too slow. I mean, what I do is I like to start it like, and whatever we do out here, you could do it at home
Right,
in your
right,
oven, right?
right.
So I usually start at a higher temperature to start out, and then you lower it as you go. And because you want to, I'm going to pull this when it's like 120 at the most on the
Right.
inside. I got some family members that like it more well done.
Right.
That way your edges are going to be more well done, and that center part is going to be nice and rare, to medium rare.
So the one thing that I always wonder about, because right when I cook something or grill something and I bring it off, I almost start eating it right away. But I always hear you should let it sit for a little bit.
Yes, and here's the crazy thing, you'll hear people say let it sit for 5-10 minutes. Something this big, you could let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes and let all the juices and everything. I heard somebody the other day say, hey, let your turkey rest as long as you've cooked it. So if you cook the turkey for 3 hours, let it rest up to 3 hours.
See, I can't do that. I can't wait that long.
I couldn't.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
too impatient myself.
Yeah,
So.
I couldn't do it. Like when this thing comes out and it's ready to go, I'm going to be ready to dig in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now we're ready just to head out and put this on.
All right, good. Sounds good to me. All right, Stan, here we are at the grill with our prime rib. What's next?
So we're gonna put this bad boy on the hottest part.
Okay.
So if you open that up and grab it, we're gonna put it right down here
Okay.
at this far end. The pit boss gets nice and hot down here, and you can hear that sizzle as it goes on.
Oh, yes.
So go ahead and we'll close that, and it's gonna go in a smoke bath now for a couple hours before we come back out and start messing with
So
it again.
what if I want to come out and like keep checking it?
So
Keep opening it.
If you're looking, it's not cooking right. So let's
Wait, if I'm looking, it's not cooking. All right, so I'm gonna leave it.
So we're gonna leave it, and that way, but as it starts getting closer to being done, we'll check it more often, because we want to hit about that nice 120 right in that middle area. So you have the middle nice and, medium rare, where the outer side is nice and more done.
All right, now we wait. All right, Stan, time to take the prime rib out. I'm ready to go, but I'm not really sure how I'm gonna take it
All right,
out.
so the best cooking tool that you have out there in our world is a $1 pair of cotton gloves.
Cotton gloves.
So you're gonna put those on,
Okay.
and that way we don't have to use a spatula or some pair of tongs where you're mangling the meat. You gotta use your hands. So you take that, put those black gloves over it. Now it's an insulating factor, and you can easily just grab the pan.
So now I can just grab it.
Yeah,
grab it? Okay.
so now we've got it in this pan. You can listen to that
Wow.
going, and it's holding that juice down in the bottom and everything that's coming off there, and that fat that keeps rendering. And it's just to help keep it juicy and it doesn't dry out.
Right.
So,
I just grab the pan. That
Yep.
is awesome.
oh, look at that.
Look at that. Oh, just listen to that.
Oh yeah, it's got the sizzle going, and so we're about to the point that we'll just let this rest.
So we're gonna let it rest, and then I get a knife and a fork, and I have at it.
We can go primal.
Sounds good
Chunks.
to me. All right, good deal. All right, Stan. Prime rib. Tell everybody again what you did to it, and then we got a big knife, so I know something good's gonna happen.
Absolutely, So we started out, the certified Angus beef prime rib. We coated it with a mixture of mayonnaise and fresh grated horseradish.
Right.
So we've got that,
That's
and then
what
we did.
this is right
yeah,
here,
that's
right?
that crust
Oh,
right there that we got from the fat, everything rendering down. We used two of the OBR rubs,
Right.
the Texas and the Santa Maria, and we put those over the top. It's cooked for about 4 hours. It's been resting for about 45 minutes now.
So it's ready to go?
Oh, it's ready to go. So
Let's do it.
let's see.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Like,
Wow.
so, Look at that crust as it's coming off through there. And we're just...
Yep, that's going to work.
And we'll go a little nice thin one through the center here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take some of that.
Yeah, why don't we cut a little piece of that off and let me try it.
So we'll try that. And then we'll try it with the sauce that we've started making a couple years ago with it for events. So this is a, roasted garlic. It's got a lot of, mayonnaise, roasted garlic in it. So a little bit of heat, but the heat's gonna come from, we put some of that fresh grated horseradish in there.
Okay.
So grab that.
Oh.
A little bit different than the regular horsey sauce
Yeah.
you get. I guess we're calling this OBR sauce now. We've been doing it for a couple years, and it's a great add, to something that's so classic. But for Christmas, everybody, can't go wrong if they want to do something different this year. This is actually the piece we probably should have cut.
Right.
Now that we think about it.
Oh,
Look at that.
look at that. Yep. Uh-huh.
And then we'll just cube this end up. So now we got some of that spice, some of that smoke right there on the outside on every bite. It's almost like, just little cubes of love.
I like that. Little cubes of, all right, so I guess we'll invite others in to have a little bit of this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Throw some sauce, dip in sauce.